It's a stinker extraordinaire. Moana has only made $95 million in its opening weekend. I bet that's going to be revised downward. Domestically, it's underperforming Snow White when adjusted for inflation. That means tickets sold more for Rachel Zegler than for The Rock as Maui. Owie, Disney, this is hurting. This was the biggest girl brand on the planet. Bigger than Frozen. How do we know that? Well, because we've been telling you for quite a while now that Moana, year after year after year since its 2016 release, was the #1 movie on streaming, not on Disney Plus, but everywhere, all platforms. Moana was #1 until the sequel arrived, and that destroyed it. And now this, the live action, is released, and we see the destruction. The question now becomes, is Moana done in terms of a theme park brand? Because they kind of treated it dirty at the parks as well. Erika, we got a splash pad at Epcot that really doesn't fit in with the Moana theme. They converted a few pools to Moana, but this was the most popular girl brand out there. I mean, and they gave it a throwaway attraction and gave it a few, little adjustments on swimming pools, and that was it. And now people who are wanting to see Moana, I think everything is going to be cautionary. I think everybody's going to be worried about, do we invest in this anymore? They're putting Encanto in Animal Kingdom, and people would say, well, surely they're going to put Moana, something else. It's not just going to be a splash pad in Epcot. I think after the box office results, I think Moana's in question going forward. What say you?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe there's Moana fatigue at this point. I know the live actions just don't carry any weight with the audience anymore. I think her initially will still be popular with little girls, but I could see where Disney would kind of reel it back. And they're just, at this point, they're just notorious for building attractions that are just, I don't know, the Imagineering cannot seem to get it together and build quality stuff, even for kids. They just think they're going to like any little thing you slap a sticker on. And it's like, no, even kids nowadays know the difference on what's cool,
Yeah.
what they like and what they don't. And they really had a missed opportunity. They should have gone with a beautiful like ocean land, that the original concept we saw for Animal Kingdom, and maybe done like a boat ride for Moana, done like a storybook dark ride. Those are classic. They're timeless. They never go out of style. They're great for all ages, from the nursing mom and the infant to the elderly and the disabled. But they didn't want to spend the money. And here we are.
And it's really strange too, Ron, because Moana is by itself bigger than Star Wars, or it was. Moana, was, along with Bluey, one of the two things really driving folks to Disney Plus. And it just seems like they cheaped out in every possible way. I mean, they really did not care about this franchise. They didn't just repurpose a crappy TV show for a sequel movie that stunk and made people say, I've had enough of this. It's also the theme parks. Like, we're showing images right now of Epcot, to the left. If you were to turn left here, you would be going towards Moana's splash pad. Even though it was as big as it was, it hardly got anything at the parks. And now we're seeing the damage of that. This is a company that didn't care. They had lightning in a bottle for some reason.
Yeah, well, it's because I think that there are way too many people in the upper echelons of Disney today that do not understand Disney. They do not understand their audience, which is ironic, right?
Well, that's clear. That's clear with these. That's clear with these results.
Right, and it's very clear. The thing is, when I first went to work for Disney, what's one of the first things that they taught me was know your audience. And so I find it completely ironic that this company that taught me that was a big thing for their executives, they don't get their audience anymore. And I think it goes back to when Bob Iger said he thought that there was too much reverence given to Walt, which I'll be honest, there's not enough. There is not enough reverence given to it. That's disgusting.
It looks like a tattooed, dark-skinned young Weird Al.
It's not
so bizarre.
It's so off.
I mean, honestly, if you change the skin color and you remove the tattoos, it looks like a buff Weird Al from circa 2005. What in the world is going on?
Right at all. I tell you what, they don't understand the brand. They really don't understand their own parks anymore. And I don't know. I am so concerned for the Walt Disney Company as a company going forward, that if they do not give it, somebody needs to go in and study everything about Walt and what he did and start doing that. It feels like they studied him and are doing exactly the opposite as much as they possibly can. And who they're satisfying by that, I have no idea. The other thing about this live action Moana is I don't think that the aesthetic appeals to young girls, and that's the brand. Like Moana is not just a girl brand, but it's a young girl brand.
Yeah.
And the new Moana live action does not look to me. Obviously, I'm not a young girl, but I don't exactly know. But it just
You're telling me this for the first time, Ron.
It doesn't look like it would appeal to young girls. Like when
you can identify as anything you want to be these days, Ron. I mean, if that's what if it's your thing.
I identify the way I was born.
I won't support you on it, but you have at it, man.
Right.
Apologies. I inserted that word on accident at the end.
Sorry, I'm not changing my name to Ellen or Elliot, but anyway.
Go ahead, Regina Bradley. What do you got?
Like the original Moana. First of all, visually, it's animation is appealing for a reason, and the aesthetic of Maui, what makes Maui even work, I think, in the original is they took The Rock and they caricaturized and exaggerated certain features on him, made him wide, almost as wide as he is tall, but still made it like muscularly wide. It's not a body that a real person could have, and that's why
it's a demigod.
Live action doesn't work.
Right, it's a demigod body, and he looks like her big brother. Like it's a big brother, little sister kind of relationship.
Not like her grandfather.
Right, and in this movie, The Rock looks like he's 60 years old. It's bizarre, it's weird, and she looks like she's 15, 16. And in one scene, we've talked about this before, people get grossed out, but I'll say it again. They do the same thing in the animation, but in real life, it's so bizarre to have a 60-year-old Dwayne Johnson pee in the water, and it gets on Moana, and she's like, ew, gross. It's like, that doesn't work with a 60-year-old dude in a...
That happens in the live action movie? Like,
yeah, he pees in the water. Yeah.
I don't remember that happening in
disgusting.
The cartoon, in the animated.
I think it's less apparent in the cartoon. She's like, I don't remember. Anyway, we'll get stuck in that. But here's the thing. People could say, well, Moana's still popular pro. It made $1 billion on the sequel. It's still popular pro. It's like, well, this is underperforming Snow White now. I don't think Rachel Zegler Snow White is appearing in the parks. I don't think there's any chance that Disney is going to put Rachel Zegler Snow White in the parks. And those dwarfs are not going to show up, and they are the things of nightmares. If this is less than Rachel Zegler Snow White, I think Disney has to worry they've killed the franchise.
I think that there's only one reason that live action Ariel still appears in the parks, since she never has a line. And I'll be honest with you, I feel
they have her hidden. I felt badly for the person. She's hidden back in that little cubby hole.
Meet and greet for her from the live action.
Sort of.
And nobody goes to
got rid of it.
She just stands there by herself. It's a problem.
And depressing.
It's what they have her. They have her hidden. You would think the corporation would figure out this looks bad. They have her hidden in the very back of One Man's Journey in Hollywood Studios.
Right, and which is right next to the original Little Mermaid story, which if little girls went to go see, their parents probably don't want to confuse them by taking them to the other one. So it's a little bit strange. That, again, Disney, whoever, like people in charge of the parks, from the top down, I don't think they understand anything about their audience anymore, or anything about what made Walt Disney as a company, the company that it became up to, I would say, maybe 10, maybe 15, 20 years ago. And it's just, unfortunately, we've seen it slide. There's been hiccups for Disney in the past. But they always seem to quickly recover from those hiccups. And I haven't seen it this time. I don't see any path to recovery at this point.
How scared do you think they have to be? They've just started this week production on Tangled, the live action remake. How nervous do you think they must be right now about that one? I'm going to say a bunch.
I was thinking about that, and I'm like, are they going to cancel it at this point? It's something I don't know what it is. First of all, this movie, obviously, one of the big mistakes is it came out too quickly after the original Moana. They just did an animated Moana 2. So
yeah, they
kind of seems really, really weird timing.
This was the most popular brand. They thought we're going to start making stuff on it, man. We're going to get some stuff out there, and it turns out they cratered it because they didn't want to make it. They didn't want to make it to a movie. They wanted to take a crappy TV show and repurpose that into a movie, trick people to go see it, make $1 billion off that, and they cratered it. They squandered the brand equity, and here we are at the point where now we've gone from 2 years ago, the #1 movie in all of streaming, doesn't appear in the top 10 of anything, not even on Disney Plus, and people starting to wonder, like, did you kill it? Is it Star Wars? Did you Luke Skywalker this thing? Like, may not even be able to be added to the parks as an attraction now beyond the little splash pad. And to me, that's very sad because the original Moana, I think, is an excellent film.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
Yeah. I was just going to say, just thinking about maybe somebody thought the executives with Stitch did so well last year. But when you look, I mean, it's a really easy comparison. You have a very young actress in Lilo and Stitch for live action, and she came across as super cute and relatable to the kids that were watching it. Whereas I don't think this Moana does the same thing. If they would have hired a younger looking actress or whatever, that might have worked better. But also The Rock putting himself so out there as Maui in the marketing, and maybe he had a lot of control over that. I don't know, but I think that The Rock tanked this movie.
I think the sequel,
Yeah.
no, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I think the sequel also tanked the movie. I think a lot of people really hate the Moana 2 movie, and it took a while for people to figure that out. But if you go to Metacritic, it's sitting around a 50, 48, somewhere there in that range. You take a movie that is the #1, everybody loves it, give it 10, give it a 9.5, whatever, and you come out with a sequel that's down there at a 5 or a 4.5 or whatever, killed the franchise, killed the enthusiasm, and that's a real problem because if they hadn't done anything with it, it would have sat there and made them tens of billions of dollars in merchandise and streaming and all that kind of stuff, and they had to have more, and they killed it with that sequel. That sequel is just worse than a bore.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.